All right, got my microphone ready to go. I'm inside of Walk-In Studios. I got my Voices.com account set up, ready to go, paid for the premium account, and I'm ready to start auditioning with the big boys. So, how do you do this? Welcome back to Day One Voiceover. My name's Robert Vienna, and I'm documenting my journey into a new career into the voiceover business. So I finally made the leap. I made the jump into Voices.com, my first paid pay-to-play site where I can start auditioning for real work, unlike the stuff that you get off of Fiverr that can sometimes be student projects and things like that, which is fine. It's great practice. It's good to get into the practice of things. But Voices is the real deal, right? It's where a lot of people get their start. And these are actual casting people that are listening to your auditions to see if they want to take you for their project. And some of these are national brands, national names. So pretty excited about that. However, once I started the account, I realized I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And I've gotten some help from some of you guys. Craig, thanks a bunch for your help. And I also found a resource that is incredible for helping you get started with auditioning in general. So before I jump into that and show you the resource, though, I want to talk a little bit about the audition process and what I've learned so far. It's an interesting thing to make yourself available for these jobs. On Fiverr, people reach out to you if they see your demo, they click on it, they listen to it, and they think you're right. They'll reach out and say, could you send me a sample, reading my script, and if you like it, you move on to the project. I've done some YouTube channel narrations that way. However, with Voices, these are basically like bulletin boards. They put up a notice saying what they're looking for. Male, female voice, narrator, conversational, things like that. And that's where it gets a little interesting, because I start to second guess myself. Am I the right voice that they're looking for? Yes, it says conversational, but have I nailed down that kind of read yet? Have I practiced it enough? The thing is, though, you don't get a lot of time to think about it. When an audition comes up and you get notified that there's a new job available and they're looking for someone, you're racing to be one of the first people to submit that audition. So you want to be one of the first people that they listen to, right? Because once it goes 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80 auditions deep, they probably found who they want to find already. And even if they haven't, they're probably pretty tired after 70, 80 auditions. And you better be absolutely on the ball if you're going to try and win a job being audition number 80 as it comes across. So a few things I've learned about that. You have to be on the ball. And I kind of knew that already, but myself going through the process of looking for a steady 9-to-5 job, I have the worry of, am I going to be available for these auditions and be the first one in? So fortunately, up until now, I've had the opportunity and the time to be one of the first handful of people to submit an audition. Now, so far, I haven't gotten any callbacks or short lists, as they're called on Voices, but I'm hoping that happens sometime soon. And, the other thing is that with all the training and the coaching that might be out there about, you have to feel the read, you have to know who it is that you're reading to. You really have to understand the right words, the right tonality as you're analyzing these scripts before you read them, if you really want to make them right. That, not that it goes out the window, but you don't have a whole lot of time to really go through all of that, because you want to be one of the first to submit. So the audition comes in, you read the script, you read what it is that they want, the kind of tone that they want, and you have to try to nail it right on the spot as fast as you can if you want any sort of shot to be recognized and to be listened to. So that's where I started looking around to see if I can get some help in getting better at these auditions and how I can speed the process along. Because it's not just the performance, but it's also the technical aspect, the saving the files and all of that stuff, and submitting it through the site. So I came across this incredible resource called Mission Audition. And funny enough, of course, it's sponsored by and it's done by Voices.com. So it's convenient, but also incredibly useful. So the way it works is they will bring on a coach, an established voiceover coach that has been in the game for a while, that really knows how to get people to get the best out of them. And they have them sit down and listen to a handful of auditions. And then they give their honest feedback on every single one of them. Now, this is an audio, it's a podcast, so it's not a video series on YouTube. Although I believe it is on YouTube and no video, it's just the audio portion of it. But I found it on Spotify. And the great thing is that in a real world setting, a casting director might be listening to these auditions. They'll hear the first couple of words and say, nope, next. Next couple of words in the next audition, nope, next. Next one, they like it. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to shortlist it and come back to it later. So that's a real world situation. But what these coaches have the opportunity to do on this podcast is break down every single script, every single audition, down to phrasing and tonality and very specific parts. They can pick out problems with their sound space where they're recording, whether it's too echoey or too muffled or too boxy, whether there's too much sibilance, too much noise, all kinds of things. And it makes you take a step back and realize, gosh, those are things I really need to work on. So I think it's been an incredible resource. Some of the people that I've followed on YouTube, I found there. Bill DeWeese, I heard as a guest coach on there. Kim Handysides, which my wife has actually worked with personally, found her on one of the episodes as well. So if you're new to this, like I am, if you're just getting started with auditioning and you're not quite sure if you want to make the leap or not because it's daunting and scary, listen to a handful of these episodes from Mission Audition, because I promise you there is some valuable information. And the great thing is that each coach brings in a new perspective. Each coach focuses on their own little nuance and detail. Some might focus on dialects, some might focus on the technical aspect of it. And the more you listen to it, the more you get back from it. So I'm certainly not intending for this episode to be some kind of promo or whatever for Voices.com. There is still a very sketchy history with Voices.com that's out there and very well documented by people like Mark Scott, the VOpreneur. But my experience so far has been great. I'm certainly not established. I haven't won any jobs on there yet because I just started about a week ago doing these auditions. But I wanted to share that resource for anyone that might be following my videos from day one to see if they want to make it in this business. Once you get to that point where you start auditioning, this is an invaluable resource, I felt anyways. And I say that because I haven't quite had the opportunity to go out and reach out and get proper coaching. I haven't paid a proper coach to sit down on a per hour basis and get one-on-one training or even group training yet. Still something I want to do, still something that I need to check off on my box of to-dos here at some point. But I just wanted to share that resource with you. It's been invaluable. There's a ton of great information. And for anyone that might be looking to get started, if you've watched some of these, if you want some additional advice or anything like that, not that I'm any kind of expert, but I'm at least in a very similar position to you at this moment of getting started on here. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you out and see what information I can provide, especially as a newbie, as I learned through this, as I worked my way through this. In the prior episode, I did talk about the leaderboard and how to set up your profile, and that's been helpful too. But the actual process of auditioning needs to be dead on because the competition is absolutely giant and you really need to find a way to stand out. So that's all I wanted to share for this episode, quick and simple. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you have any advice on how to audition and stand out in the audition process, let me know. The great thing is that the podcast, while it's done by voices.com and I'm talking about my experience of voices.com, the actual guidance can be applied to anywhere. Voice 123, Bidalgo, whatever the case might be. So it goes all the way across the board. In any case, thanks again for watching all the way through. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. I hope to continue to share these things as I learn them myself and hopefully grow in this industry. Still working towards it. It's been a lot slower and more sluggish than I thought it would be, but still working towards it, and I know I'll get there soon enough. Thanks again, and we'll talk soon.